What's up, you crazy sons of bitches? How you doing? Oh, sweet mother of Jesus. How are you getting on? You're all very welcome to Ramble Pod. Number 5, I think it is number 5 anyway, for the Tuesday, the 3rd of the fucking July, man. 3rd of July. Oh yeah, tomorrow is what all the Yanks go excited for, isn't it? I have no idea what, I don't know. People tend to celebrate it here, but sure, it's just pure money-making racket, isn't it? 3rd of July, 2018. I was going to do this outside today. I thought, you know what, be nice, sit outside, be lovely. And then a crow started having some sort of fucking absolute freak out, and I was like, you know, that'd be funny for the first minute. But for the entire fucking podcast, a crow just having some sort of fucking malfunction in the corner. And of course, do I have my shotguns with? No, I don't. They're down tape. So and then I come inside and there's a fucking fly as big as a fucking crow driving around. Oh my, I'm not saying he's bigger at it, but the fucker was brushing his teeth with my toothbrush when I walked into the room. The fucking bastard. Although the dog, in fairness to the dog, she's making some job of the flies. She's fucking smashing them all over the place. It's class. Thankfully we haven't been getting those little... Well, I haven't been resorted to getting the old sticky tapey stuff just yet. Fucking hell. That stuff is still on the go. I put one up for the mother the other day. It filled within like 15 minutes with these nasty bastard flies. I'm guessing they have a job to do. I don't know what it is. Is it feeding bats? I don't know. We have a couple of bats here who are making a fine job of the midgies as well. The bats in the evening time. It's something to behold watching these fuckers. You're just looking at them going, sweet Jesus Christ. The turns and the corners these fellas make. They're pulling like 10 Gs. Like, Top Gun wouldn't even pull this shit off. Like, the way they're just flying around, just fucking gobbling fucking midgies. It sounds more mystical than it actually is, to be honest with you. You'd watch it for 20 seconds, go, class, then go back inside and drink your tea. Which I'm drinking fancy coffee right now, because, you know, I've gone pure wanker. I've gone pure fucking wanker. When was I talking to you? Oh, I was talking to you last Friday briefly. Yeah, I was in Jokes. It's in Jokes, which is at the Patriots Inn once a month, which if you're anywhere in that district at all, or if you're in the Dublin district, Colm O'Regan has it as a comedy club once a month, and it's absolutely belting gig. It's a belting fucking gig. He always, in fairness, he gets not blowing my own but he does. He always, like, it was me, Erin McGahey, who I'd never met before, but I'd heard of her. And Foil Arms and Hog, and it was just glorious. I mean, Foil Arms, say no more. Foil Arms and Hog, like the boys. But I will say, in fairness, it was no fault of they'd like 4 fans on the stage, and by fans I mean the electric plug-in fucking fans on the stage. Although there's a lot of fans of Foil Arms and Hog. A couple of people were there to see me, which is nice to see. But they had it on stage, and it was great because Erin went on first, and she was doing like a 10 spot or whatever, and she went up, she was like, nah, it's not too bad. But I realised, because I was doing a 25, I realised, 10 minutes is when the cut-off of your body temperature is. Because right on the 11-minute mark, it was like, all right, there's quite literally rain pissing down my fucking neck right now. Sweet Jesus. It was great though. I lost about fucking half a stone on stage that night. This was a great one. Had a couple of corporates over the weekend, but nothing much to get into there really. I was, lads, you're sending me on some fucking class barbecue Jesus Christ. You're sending me on some good barbecue stuff, in fairness, like, I'm getting it left, right and centre. It's fucking class to see it. Class. Keep it up. Keep her fucking lit, as the fella says. There was some good ones came in over the weekend. The problem is I keep on losing the Snapchat ones. I haven't time to be... See, a lot of the time I'll just look down. I'm not saying I'm looking at my phone while driving, but you know what I mean? You're doing something else, or you're in the middle, and chatty snaps just fucking disappears on you. So if it's a class picture of something, and you do have Instagram or Twitter, tweet me or Instagram me. I'll see it. I will see it. And I'll try to reply. I was getting a lot of messages. I was trying to reply to everybody, but I was getting a lot of messages over the weekend of just cool shit, and just people just kind of asking advice. Just people shooting the shit about enjoying the podcast and stuff, and that's great to hear. It's great to hear. It actually puts physical humans actually listening to the podcast. That's great. Fucking deadly to hear it. I was down Friday was fucking bananas, just all over the shop, but then I got tip on Friday, and I had put in my order the day or two beforehand with the greatest butcher in the world, Brendan Healy, Artisan Butchers. Well, I mean, most definitely, and voted the greatest butcher in Tipperary right now. So I called in, and Brendan hooked me up something fucking serious. I was in there for about an hour. I was planning on I'm just so obsessed with fucking butcher shops. Like, I'm just so, like, proper butchering. And that's not to sound fucking hipster, but I mean, you know, not just the meat sales people. I mean, those butchers where it's like, hey, it's the butcher's fucking apron or whatever they call it. They give it some fucking naff name, like, and you walk in, it's like, where does the actual butchering go on? Oh, yeah, it's some abattoir somewhere in the Midlands, and we just get it by trades, and we just put it out and wear white jackets and white hats to make us look like butchers. No, this is the real deal. So I went in, I got, which I don't think I've done before, the barbecue, I'm going to smoke beef short ribs. I'll buy short ribs. Like, these are big ass fucking ribs, but they're short fucking ribs. You know what I mean? But there's like they're meaty enough. They're like mini tomahawk steaks is kind of what they're like. Which I'm gonna do. I've done tomahawks before, but that's for searing. You'd be using lumpwood there, like. Well, with these, I'm gonna do them low and slow. But I got them, and like, quite literally, it wasn't like he was picking these out of a fucking tray. He brought in I put up a picture on Instagram of what pure happiness looks like, and it's me more so on the other side of the camera. Brendan is just standing with like this quarter of a cow, just standing there going, hey, he's just balancing this thing on his hip like it's no biggie. It's a fucking quarter of a cow, and he just throws it down on the saw and just cuts it off. It's like, this is the fucking real deal, man. If you can find that butcher, fucking make best friends with him, because that's the bloke that is going to, or lady, hey, you never know, we get some ladies listen to this. If there are some, actually, I haven't been getting any, I get the odd tweet and stuff like that, but messages from ladies that listen to this, hit me up, as well as the lads, because just, hey, look, I can't see you, you can't see me, but you know there's only one of me doing this, so I'd like to see, who the fuck's listening? Where are you listening? What are you listening on? Be cool to listen to, or just to see it, to say. But yeah, he cut me off a couple of fucking short ribs. I got a brisket off the same cow, and left that on the rib. That'll be kind of like the top. I'm gonna do an instruction with me cursing and swearing, probably drinking the whole way through it. That's what most of my videos pretty much are. And by the tail end, it's me pretty drunk, cursing even more. But I left this one on the bone. I did one before, and I had him take it off the bone, and it shrunk an awful lot. Now it came out grand. I mean, it's not like the beef went anywhere; it just got tighter or whatever, and the moisture comes out. But you do it over 10 hours, like so. I got him to leave it on the bones this time because it might actually keep some structure now. Now it's most likely just gonna the bones are just gonna fall right off. But I'll do a video on that one. Got a blast of pork ribs, organic pork ribs. I got it's not that I'm fucking uber organic, but there's one thing you'll get when it's cows and lamb, you know it's going to be fairly close to organic anyway, like, you know what I mean? They're wandering around the field nibbling fucking grass, like. But with pigs, if you can get outdoorsy pigs, if you can get fucking pigs raised outdoors, man, you can. I think, and I don't know, I think you can order meat online nowadays, like from places. Look it up, because I'll show you the pork belly. I'm going to do probably pork belly cubes, which I've done before. Like, these are fierce bowl now. These are very naughty. Very naughty. Like, you want to be going for a jog straight after these, like, but they're fucking unreal. I'm going to do them, but you want to see the difference between a regular pork belly, which is like 70% fat bit of meat. This is fat, 70%, like 60% meat, another strip of fat, and then another little bit of meat. So the bit in the middle melts out. And sweet sovereign Jesus Christ. You'd fucking step over your mother for a fucking one of them. And what else did I get off him? What else did I get? He threw me over some Galty burgers. He grinds up and does his own burgers from scratch, like the whole killing the cow, the fucking from beginning to end. So he knows everything goes into it. He threw me in a couple of extra fucking bits and pieces there, like, but the freezer's pretty full. It's pretty full right now with the other bits and pieces that I got. I got just a couple of usual suspect stuff, like, but you have to. It was a butcher's day. I brought like 2 big ice boxes ready to go, but it's worth the trip. I'm telling you, for your own butchering, like, even if your butcher is whatever distance away from you, if it's fucking a 2-hour round trip, go once a month. Do you know what I mean? Go once a month, because and fucking stock up. Get out the ice boxes and fucking stock up. In the long run, you'll save money. I reckon what's there. Now, I'm going to do a couple of big-ass barbecues for neighbours and friends and stuff like that, so a lot of that's going to get eaten up. But what I got the other day, for the kind of money I spent, you could blow that in a fucking... Even in, like, Aldi, you could blow that in, you know, the pre-packed meat and stuff like that. No bother on a weekly shop, like. And I could feed a fucking army right now, what way the freezer looks. So, yeah. That was the fuck. Oh, man, the excitement. The excitement. The heat has come down a bit, lads. The heat is a bit more tolerable. But it hasn't... Do you know what I've noticed? It's like, I'm all for everybody enjoying the sun. For sure. For sure. But every fucking bit of you doesn't need to be hanging out when you go out in public. Do you know what I mean? I swear to God, this morning, 9:15, I'm driving up the fucking road. Oh, Jesus. Now, I'm not saying it'd make a difference if, you know what I mean, if she was a young woman or in shape or whatever. It probably wouldn't have been as noticeable, but a woman easily in her 60s, man, and she's just fucking bits for hanging out everywhere, and her fella's alongside her, he's got no shirt on. It's 9:15. It's in a fairly nice part of fucking Dublin where I was driving through too, and you're like, not that it should make a fucking blind bit of difference. I mean, I'm living in the sticks here, like, but what are you doing, like? What are you fucking doing? You fucking animal. Put your shirt on in public. There's you know what I mean? There's no fucking etiquette that you can't just turn around and go, hey, you know what? Fuck everything. Gonna leave my cock out. That's what I'm saying, like, in the way of, keep your shit together. How can I take you fucking seriously in any form of this world if you're walking around like a 60-year-old fucking toddler in flip-flops and shorts and your fucking big-ass gut hanging out and your hair, you know what I mean? Tuck that shit away. Put it away. And put it away even if you're in fucking shape. If you're in public, get your shit together. Stop dressing like a fucking 4-year-old. You know, you have to dress like a man or a woman, not a fucking toddler. There's, you know what I mean? There are certain fucking fuck off, like, especially on a midweek, like a working week. All right, Saturdays and Sundays, you know, we'll loosen the belt some bit, but fuck up, like, you're putting me right off my fucking coffee. You know what I mean? Fucking bits of flabbing hairy shit hanging out all over the fucking place. Get your shit together and dress like a fucking adult. You will never be taken fucking seriously. You just won't. How are you supposed to be anybody's boss? How are you supposed to aim for anything in life and be somebody's fucking boss? How are you supposed to be management? Because who the fuck you know what I mean? How the fuck are you supposed to order somebody around or at least be taken seriously in an argument? Or you walk into a fucking shop or something and you don't want them to look like, you know, you want to look like, I'm not saying wear a shirt and tie. I'm far from that. I'm all for fucking dressing cash. But stop dressing like a fucking toddler. That's what you look like. Look at you and a toddler. And if you're wearing the same thing as the toddler, and I'm not talking about like little 6-year-olds where they dress them like little adults, which is kind of fucking adorable in its own right. But you know what I mean? Belly out, fucking pair of shorts on, and fine, if it's the beach, fair enough. No bother. That's kind of a place, or a pool, or whatever, or a recreational area. But don't be fucking walking up no fucking street. Don't be walking up the fucking street looking like a big fat hairy fucking toddler. There now. That's the only sour thing I'm going to talk about. That's the only angry thing I'm going to talk about on this episode of the Ramble Pod. That's my issue. Keep your shit together. Dress like a fucking adult when you're supposed to. Do you know what I mean? There has to be certain rules. There has to be. It'll all go off the fucking rails if we don't have rules. It'll all go off the fucking rails. And before we know it, we'll be walking around fucking eating each other. And it'll be like Walking Fucking Dead. It'll go off the fucking rails. And we won't know what we fucking have. Do you know what I mean? There needs to be some... I know we're a liberal country nowadays. We're allowing gay marriages and abortions and all the rest of it. No bother at all. But fat, ugly cunts in public, keep your shit together. Dress like a fucking adult. There has to be... I'm putting my foot down. That has to be a rule. Keep your fucking shit together. And dress like a fucking adult. I'm putting that on a t-shirt. I'll ask Hairy Baby. Hairy Baby! What a great name for exactly what I'm talking about. Hairy Baby t-shirts. I'm wearing one right now. The one that lads made for me. The Too Cool for School one. I think I put it up on my Instagram. The lads, Dara down there and Hairy Baby in Cork. If you haven't heard of him, check him out. I'm not being sponsored by him, even though with the chat and the fact that I'm wearing a fucking t-shirt during the episode, you'd swear I was. I was in. Oh, I do have another bit of a rant, and I won't. But look. We've all worked in shops, and we've all worked. I know it can be a pain in the stones at the best of times, like. But for fuck's sake, if you're going to do a fucking job, do the fucking job. Do you know what I mean? And this next bit is going to sound fairly fucking wanky now, but because it was handy to get to, we went to see Jurassic Park the other evening. Because fuck it, it's Jurassic Park. Been seeing it since I was about fucking 5-6 years of age in the cinema. I said, do you know what? I don't even rate these movies that much anymore, but fucking let's go to the cinema and see it. Get in out of this fucking heat. Turns out, couldn't be more wrong. The cinema was hotter than a fucking motherfucker inside there. But while we were there, it was in Dundrum town centre, village centre, whatever, the fucking big cunt of a fucking shopping centre, which is what it is, by the way. Let there be no mistake. A shopping centre, regardless of the size, is a cunt of a place. But it was actually relatively quiet, which is great. We're walking through. We've an espresso machine down there because it makes a nice old coffee. That's what I'm drinking now, an espresso. Like, the machine wouldn't get a look in from one end of the fucking year to the other until we actually think to pick up some pods as you buy. Now, I know you can buy them online, but I couldn't be bothered me bollocks. Because we were passing the other day, lo and behold, we said, Jesus, do you know what? Let's get a lash of pods while we're here. Well, for fuck's sake, the lad behind the counter couldn't be more mannerly. Italian fella. This fella was he fucking took it seriously. Do you know what I mean? And he wasn't being wanky about it. Like, he was actually just going, absolutely, sir. That's a great fucking choice. This is what I think about that. Here you are, sir. Fucking smashing. I left the guy a review and all. I actually felt I wouldn't fucking order things online, but I went onto their website to leave that fella a review. Because you know what? He was taking his fucking job seriously. And he was doing a fucking good job. And came away, and he threw in a couple extra pods and everything, just to be sound. Do you know, like, I'm sure he does deal with cunts too, like, I've no doubt. And let him be a cunt to that person. Do you know what I mean? Let him be a bollocks to that person. But we walked up there with big mannerly heads in us. I went, good afternoon. Want some pods, lad? He was like, absolutely, sir. I have exactly what you fucking need. Do you know what I mean? Great exchange. 2 fucking seconds later, I didn't want to feed a grub. I just wanted something like fucking rice and noodles. Just something handy. Just something handy. And walked out the side door of this place, and there was a Wagamama's there. Now, I have in the past given out yards about this place, because once upon a time I went in there, and I was kind of steaming drunk. This is probably about 10 years ago, actually, and just fucking give out yards. All they had was dirty old water with fucking noodles inside it. Turns out that's exactly what I wanted, right? Right then. Walked in the door, wait to be seated. Every fucking table in the place, of course, is open, which is no problem. This is protocol. They've asked us to be waited to be seated. I got a fucking cough, or some fucking nasty bastards have to give me some fucking sort of a cold in the middle of the summer. Well, this dickhead walks up, and that's all, strolls up like, oh, not you two cunts again. That kind of look on his face. And you're like, what the fuck? Up he comes. He's like, 2, is it? It's like, yeah, please, just the 2 of us. Yeah. So he just walks off. Walks off and kind of cleans up a table. And then nods us over from the table. It's like, what the fuck is up your hole? And just fucks down the two menus, like, you go, what the fuck is wrong with you? Now, the lad that did actually, like, this guy wouldn't even serve us, like, afterwards. He was like, this kid came over very bannerly. But this prick fucking sails around and drops off the food. And not even, like, he dropped it off, like, you'd be slinging in, like, you see the American lads slinging newspapers in over fucking hedges and stuff. That's the way he dropped it off. It's like, you absolute fucking cunt. And, he was gone to the point, and I'm gone there now where I do say stuff, like, the Irishness has gone out of me, like, because I fatty the other day, I've actually meant it, yeah, I had words. They bust in past me while I was trying to get served at a petrol station, and I had to tell her, get the fuck back. And the whole queue looked at me like I was a cunt. She just walked straight in to go to the top of the queue. And she went to pay. I went, get the fuck back. But anyway, this fucker, I went up to pay, and I said, is there a way of leaving tips without it going to that fucker over there? And she just started laughing. the girl who was very pleasant and very nice, just started laughing. She was like, no, it all goes. I was like, but that was my one protest. I had to say it. What the fuck is that guy's issue like? And if you have an issue, fucking leave it at home. Because I'm paying your fucking wages. We're all paying your fucking wages. And I do, like, I worked in fucking shops and restaurants and bars. You get your shit together and behave like a fucking adult. See, this guy was just, like, again, I'm convinced that this is a thing. That people, they're letting their inner child come out. We're like, well, I don't feel like it, so I'm going to tell it the whole word. That's not how a fucking man carries himself. You swallow that shit, or a woman. You swallow that shit, you get the fucking job done, you get it done right, and you go home and you punch a wall or something. Whatever the fuck. Don't bring it to work. But I'm guessing this fella was the boss fella and he fucking just too big for his own fucking boots and all the rest of it. But that's definitely all the contrariness done now. That's all of it done. 21 minutes in, the contrariness is done. I promise you. I'm oh yeah. Yeah, I'm in a movie. I don't know if I was telling you about it. I don't know, was I podcasting back then? But it was like 2 years ago, nearly at this stage. We filmed a movie down in Offaly over kind of a week and a bit. And right in the middle of it, I had to go and fucking gig in Barcelona. I think I was telling you. Was I telling you this? I don't know. Anyway, this film is called Around Here. It's kind of there's a darkness to it. There is a hint of comedy to it, but it's a good dark, like it's a good movie. Like it actually is a good movie. It's a good premise to it. If you check out my Facebook page, yeah, I did. I have it on Facebook and it's on in Twitter as well. It's in the Galway Film Flat, so it'll be actually shown on the 13th. Of course, can I make it? Nah. See, the lads only sprung this on us too. Like the production team went, it's going to be in the film flat, and we'd really love you to be there. I was like, fuck. So it's Friday, like at 4:00 on the 13th in the Town Hall Theatre. Fucking raging. If I can pull off a few moves, I will be over there like fucking shit on a blanket. I will be stuck to it. I'll be all over it. Because fucking, why not? I don't think I was ever in a movie before. I've been a couple of TV shows and shit, but I don't think I was ever in a movie before. But I have an actually decent enough part in it too. John Cleary's in it with me. And when I say with me, he's in another scene, like scenes. I think he plays a teacher. I played a hurling coach / guard. Bit of a wanker, but has it hard enough too. Like, you know what I mean? The wife's fucked off on me and stuff in it, so it's actually it's a good one. Like that. Have a look at the trailer on the Facebook page. Do you know what? I'll put it in the link to this in the old description. But yeah, if you are in the Galway and you do have time, there is going to be a Dublin release of it, and I think where we filmed it as well down in Kinnity, by Kinnity Castle. Castle. Apparently, I can't say castle now. It's going to be shown down there somewhere, and also, yeah, I don't know, might be shown. Don't know what the outcome of a movie like this is. I'd love for it to get picked up by fucking Netflix, like Cardboard Gangsters or one of those. Like, I mean, because it'd be class. It's made. So I hope, because Martin, who made it, is a really, 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 really nice fella. Just for his sake alone. So I'm paid. We got paid. So I want him to get fucking paid, basically. Also, yes. So yeah, Town Hall Theatre on Friday the 13th. At 4:00. If anybody's listening who is free around Galway at that time, go to it. It's a good movie. You won't be upset. Like, it's actually well. And the young actors in it were very, very, very good. Also, herself has me asking if you'll vote for the dog in some competition. Again, I'll put the link of it in this description. I don't know what it's about. It's something to do with the dog being gas. I don't know. Some competition for the dog. I think it's more so for herself's work. I don't know. I don't fully know. It sounds class. It's called the Nose of Tralee. It's a good name for it, because it's just a cute button nose on a dog. And you've all seen the dog. She's asleep here beside me, playing a fucking blinder. She's after eating that. Oh, good on ya. I can see her gobbling. She's after eating a fly. Do you know what? There's a fucking reason why we keep you around the place. Fly eating dog. Good on ya. Also, yeah, so that's the end of the podcast, really. Do we have, coming up this week, we have, if anybody remembers Don Conroy from The Den years ago, his son Richie, very good friend of mine, he is next week's guest, this week's guest, I should say, on Friday. He has a book out. I'll talk more about it. I've started reading into it, and it's actually really an easy read. And I'll give a better review of it on the intro of next Friday's podcast, because I've only read like the first 10 pages. When I say a review, if a fucking idiot like me can read a book and enjoy it, that's all I can give you on it. I'm not well educated enough to give you a worldly review on a book. I could just tell you if I like it or not, which I suppose is really all a review is. But I don't have any wanky phraseology to go with it. So that's the end of the podcast. If you are following, if this is your first time listening, hit subscribe, obviously. Well, not obviously. If you didn't enjoy it, forget about it. If you did enjoy it, hit subscribe. We have 2 a week. Guest on Fridays, Ramble Pod on Tuesdays, which is exactly what this was, a rambling pod. You can catch me on all platforms. Buckshot Pod is on Twitter. Buckshot Podcast, I should say, is on Twitter. Is it Buckshot Pod? It's Buckshot Pod. Or Tom O'Mahony Comedy will find me pretty much on all forums, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, except for Chatty Snatch, which is Tom Bear O'Mahony. Also, I just get asked every so often about, like I was getting asked this week about gigs and whatnot. If keep up to date with, if you don't want to be just asking me, keep an eye on TomO'Mahony.com. There's the second half of July is going to be fairly busy with comedy gigs anyway, with stand-up gigs, I should say. So just keep an eye on that. August, they're all like the most of them. There's obviously corporate ones and stuff like that. There's no point in putting them up on the old fucking gig guide. But have a look at TomO'Mahony.com/gigs. Again, I'll put the description in this. And to tell you that I am on Patreon. I'm getting to the bottom of Patreon this week. The thing is, kind of Patreon is like, if you haven't heard of it, basically it's for artists, so you can actually fucking help fund them towards putting together whatever platform or thing that you're fucking making that you actually like. So if I'm making these, it's so that I can make more of these podcasts, and also footage and stuff like that. I don't want to but there is there's an idea where you can start as low as you want. $2 a month basically keeps the lights on here and all the rest of it, and keeps it going. But the idea is that we're going to actually go ahead and buy fucking better gear, which I am going to do in the next couple of months anyway. But also, I don't really want to put the fucking Ramble Pod on it. We're only patrons, so I'm going to have to come up with something else that actually pays you, gives you a little, wets your beak for, you know what I mean? So you're just not throwing it away. You're just not giving that $2 for what you were already getting for free. Do you get me? So I want to make something a little extra. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, because again, the Ramble Pod is for free. I don't want to take that off people who enjoy the Ramble Pod. And if you don't fancy, because I'm not, you know what I mean? I can't rent your arm. I want you to fucking be listening to the thing. So maybe I'll come up with a third style of podcast that only patrons to Patreon will get. But there definitely will be something there that only patrons to Patreon will get. And like I said, it's a minimum enough payment. So I think people are sound enough. I'd say most of you lads would probably fucking sling a $2 towards it, and we try and get some fucking new gear and all the rest of it. I don't know. Like I said, have a think about it. If you do, it's Patreon, patreon.com/Tom O'Mahony Buckshot. Again, I'll put the description in this. If you fancy having a gander, slinging us a couple of dollars, it all sits there until I hit my mark anyway, and then I'll take pictures of the new gear. There's nobody's making money at this carry on anyway. But for now, that's it for the Ramble Pod. I'll see you back on Friday. Good luck and thanks.